Carters, are you looking for a new pair of shoes that are cute, comfortable, and can be worn every day? Finding your new go-to pair is now easier than ever with Rothy's. Their shoes give you right out of the box comfort, come in amazing styles and colorways, and hey, you can wash them. It's a new age, people!
And the best part is everything Rothy's makes is better for the planet. So there you go. They've repurposed millions of water bottles into their signature thread that goes into every single one of their products. Millions of women wear Rothy's shoes every single day.
And I'm definitely one of them. They're so comfortable. I wear my Rothy's every day. And I'm Asian, and I'm not supposed to wear them in the house. But you can't tell me what to do. It's my house. Did you know that for People's Magazine's first ever style awards, they awarded Best Flat to one of Rothy's styles?
When I tell you these things are comfortable, I mean, I cannot overstate it. All right, so step up your shoes and accessories this spring and get ready to be asked, hey, are those Rothy's? Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/add-to-cart. That's rothys.com/add-to-cart.
Also with that fire, boy. Wait.
Hello, and welcome to Add to Cart. I am Kulap Vilaysack.
And I'm SuChin Pak. You know, we are so excited for the month of July.
Yeah.
I would venture that this is, other than our launch, our most important month, right? I'm just going to put it out there. I'm feeling it.
Do it.
I'm feeling it.
Lay it down. Lay it down, SuChin Pak.
The reason why is in July, we are part of Spotlight, which is a new program from Apple Podcasts. It's where their editorial team chooses a podcast out of the millions of podcasts in all the land. And they think that this podcast is a podcast that you will want to spend time with. We're so honored. We're so delightfully surprised. And we're so happy that you're here.
Look, guys, it feels good to be chosen.
I feel like you
really
knew all along something like this was coming. I mean, this is a big deal.
You know, you hope and you want to manifest something. And when it comes, you got to enjoy it. So if you're new, welcome. Add to Cart is a show about the things we buy and buy into and what they say about who we are. For example, most things I buy will be matte black and gold, which is how my house and my body are decorated.
Really?
As you know, it's because it's classy and I'm classy.
Your body is decorated in matte black and gold.
Look at me right now.
Well, yes.
Are you not seeing me?
For some reason, I had this image in my mind of like some sort of body art. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I fear that you thought I was nude with body paint on.
And I was like, oh boy, we are in for a very special July. You saved a big one. Okay, Apple.
I'm really glad.
Get ready.
Month 7.
Get ready.
Month 7, we cleared this up.
That you are not covered in matte black paint underneath your matte black shirt. And those things are your primary colors because you're a queen.
Yes, thank you.
You're a sophisticate. You're a
meow. Meow meow.
You're a woman of the world.
Yeah, but who are you?
Me?
What are you like?
I've learned mainly one thing, and that I'm weird. And I knew that I was weird. You know, like I knew it, like I suspected. Let's just say I suspected I was weird.
The clues were there.
Yeah, everybody has it. You know, I look around, I see how other people are doing it, and I think, that's not how I do it. But I just didn't know the depths of my weirdness, how peculiar I am.
And I didn't know that I would be putting on a scuba suit to dive into those depths.
Hold your breath. So the other thing about the weirdness is that I am very weird about really minor things. Like I have very strong opinions. And Mike, my husband, has been saying this for years. I resent it when he says it.
Sure.
When you or any of our Add to Carters say it delights me, is that I have very strong opinions about things that do not matter. And it's true. The big things, I can be swayed. I like to listen to all points of view. Small things, my ears are closed. You know?
For instance, like right now, I'm drinking a sparkling a beverage, and I'm drinking it wholly, fully. Now, you have a sparkling beverage. You're doing something different.
For me, a sparkling beverage is a beautiful thing. It's a treat. It's a luxury. Everyone should have it. I've worked hard my whole life, to have a sparkling beverage of my own. I'm sure we both did not grow up in houses where there were sparkling beverages were, aplenty.
It's tap water.
Yes.
Tap water.
Tap water. And so when I have a sparkling beverage, I like to cut it with just either tap water or plain sparkling water, just to get more out of that can than that one thing.
Time out. Okay, she likes yerba mate. It's a very specific, what flavor is it, SuChin?
It is a yerba mate sparkling drink, and it's flavor grapefruit and ginger from Guayaki.
Okay, so
Still waiting for free Guayaki.
Well, we need to double down on that. We got to let them know we're in Apple Spotlight.
This may be the month I get my Guayaki.
SuChin Puck, I was aghast to hear that, but you have worked so hard. I want you to have a full can, but I was aghast to hear that you cut it with a lesser non-flavored sparkling water. What you just described is that sometimes you add tap water? I mean, you loosen the bubbles with tap water? You dilute the flavor with city water?
Okay, let me. First of all, I'm concerned for your heart rate. Kulap.
You know what? I'm checking my Apple Watch and it's peaking. I'm going to have to do some deep breaths.
Not tap water. Yes. Reverse osmosis filtered water. But yes, sometimes it's not carbonated because I don't always have a fresh carbonated beverage. I don't have fresh carbonated water to add to my sparkling beverages. I don't always have that, I'm not on top of it sometimes. And I want a Guayaki sparkling yerba mate beverage. And I've now gotten used to the taste of it where it's just a hint of flavor.
Hey guys, she's cheap. Is that clear? That was the quickest way to get there.
Oh, cheap and weird.
So if you haven't already, that really is what we just gave you is a amuse-bouche. And if you want more of a meal to see how our show works with the add to carts, remove to carts, and game changers, listen to our first episode.
The other thing we've added over time and really just leaned right into is guests. And we've had lots of our friends
and people we are forcing into friendships.
And people we are yes. You are either a friend or someone we've stalked. And I say stalk, sorry, in a very, very nice way, not in a weird cancel-y way. Please let me not get
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Yes, exactly. Hi, Tony. Tony from Strategist in Ear Magazine. Anyway, so we've had guests now, and I would say if you want to listen to an episode with one of our guests, go to Casey Wilson. And not only is she a movie star, a star of the screen, a star of podcasts, but she's a dear friend of yours. But
yes, I guess more important than the things that she's done is that she's achieved best friendship with me.
Absolutely. And which is why she came on right in the beginning, because we weren't spotlighted then. You know what I mean, Casey? And we appreciate that. So she comes onto the show, and the reason why I love that episode is because I feel like Casey, along with us, really launched our conversation around underwear culture. That was the episode, I think, where we discovered a few things about me.
Yeah.
About you and about Casey, by the way, and her underwear choices.
Sure. And before, I think it was sort of like we touched on it, but it was more abstract. Yeah. This is where it really took shape.
And the crazy thing is, when I think of Casey, she's an author. She's a star. And yet all I can think of is her underwear choice. She's a thong. She's a thong wearer.
Yeah.
It came as a shock.
If you guys are familiar with Wile E. Coyote, sometimes he would look at the Roadrunner and would see it as like a meal, right? But SuChin looks at beautiful Casey Rose Wilson, and her head is a thong.
Yeah.
That's what SuChin sees.
Yeah, I just see people's underwear. It's a gift. I learned it here, and now I am really good at it.
To understand that this show is just not a review of products and that it's truly a reflection of the lives that SuChin and I lead and how the world impacts us as Asian American women.
Yes.
Listen to any episode, really, because we just are. But especially listen to our episode that aired after the Atlanta shootings in Georgia. Links to these 3 episodes will be in today's show notes.
Yes.
Oh, also, we cuss on the show. Well, mostly I do. So consider yourself warned.
All right. So this week, I think I want to talk about, because once again, if you haven't heard, we've been spotlighted. And we were thinking about, well, what do we want to talk about this week? And I thought it would be good to talk about realizations and revelations. You know, we've been doing this show for about 7 months. And there's so many things that we've learned about each other, things that we've added to our cards, removed from cards. You and I have grown as women, as friends.
Absolutely.
And so let's talk about it.
Yes. And then we have boots on the ground, our dear friend, Dr. MD Majanda Delfino, on to tell us how to keep it tight and right. And lest you forget, she's not a real doctor. So let's get into it. We're going to do what SuChin was talking about.
Yes.
Our realizations, our revelations.
What's yours?
Well, look, I had no idea that I would double down on oral care. I had no idea that I would feel the satisfaction of my teeth feeling like glass and not like brittle glass. What I'm talking about is a surface feeling.
Yes, a tempered glass, by the way. I mean, heat resistant,
Strong.
microwavable.
Yeah, like the glass of a chandelier that my mouth would become an ornament. Okay? I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that was in store for me. Now, SuChin Pak really paved the way when she talked about her afternoon delight, which in her world is not sensual lovemaking.
Well,
In the afternoon, she loves to do a pick-me-up in the form of using a classic Oral-B
manual toothbrush.
manual toothbrush, just to ease into her PM. And I was like, I was listening, and I have great teeth, but now they're models.
I mean, yes, I have been talking about teeth. I talk about teeth a lot. I've been talking about teeth ever since I turned 40 and they started falling out of my head. That's when I was like, this shall be no more. Not on my watch.
So, SuChin, did some fall for real or were about to fall?
No, since I've turned 40, I've lost 3 teeth.
Oh, everything makes sense now.
That's a lot of teeth.
And your fear and your experience has passed down to me.
I have nightmares
during this podcast.
Yeah, do you have those teeth nightmares when you're like eating something and like your teeth are falling out and they're falling out? All your teeth are falling out. Things are cracking. I feel something and then all my teeth just like dissolve. Like chalk.
Yes, I have those dreams. Yeah. My mom always said those types of dreams, teeth falling off, is because you're afraid of money. You're afraid about money.
Oh, really?
That's what she says.
Well, see, now I'm even more obsessed with teeth because that's so true. So we've talked about teeth a lot, and then we've had guests who have shared our passion for teeth.
Yes, we have Casey St. Onge.
Yes. Game changer.
She came in with a game changer. SuChin, let's say it together. It's the Dr. Tongue's Ionic Toothbrush.
AKA glass teeth. Okay?
Glass teeth. Okay, so I use this with a regular toothpaste and it makes me feel it feels good. Now, is it a little weird? Is there a part on the handle where you must keep wet with your pointer finger and your thumb. You know, and I think Casey said that like you should like lick those fingers and I've been doing that, but really if you just put it under the water, I guess it would be the same to activate it, but because she said it, that's how I do it.
The licking of it is such a commitment. It's such a commitment that you're licking your thumb in between brush strokes is such a commitment.
It is.
You gotta really want it. You gotta really want it. To be licking your thumb while you're brushing your teeth. And guys, we fucking want it.
And we've done it. And then another guest, Allison Rosen, shows up.
Yes.
And
she didn't know about, she had been doing this for years. She didn't do this because we talked about it.
No, she comes in, same brand, Dr. Tongues, with this smart floss. And our editor, Ivan, put it so perfectly. He says this floss is truly the luxury waffle knit towel of flosses.
Wait, what? Ivan said that?
Ivan said that.
Where did he say that?
He emailed us.
Oh my God.
He emailed us. To circle back about this double down on oral care.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, everybody listening now is thinking, oh, you replaced your existing tooth regimen with this Dr. Tongue system. And I want to let you know, no, I've added to it. I also fucks with, see, I told you I cuss. I also fucks with like a natural bamboo charcoal toothbrush. And I'm putting charcoal and organic teeth whitening toothpaste as well. I've told you about this. It works.
Yes.
And I got some pearly ass whites.
For an Asian person that came to the dental game a little late,
Who drinks coffee every day. I drink wine.
have you had your teeth ever professionally whitened?
No, I used to do Crest white strips.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Okay.
Look, I have a huge mouth that's constantly open. You know, it would be really distracting.
You got to pay the bills. Thank goodness they're white.
And then I just want to slide in that I also have a copper tongue scraper.
Oh, yeah. Have you tried brushing your tongue with the Dr. Tongue's toothbrush while licking your thumb? Dead
Wait,
serious.
Hold on. Time out. So, tongue is out. You're wait. You're also licking, hold on,
Your thumb.
SuChin.
Okay, I know. Go ahead. Walk them through.
Your tongue's out. You're brushing it with Dr. Tongue's toothbrush, but sometimes you're turning your thumb onto your tongue to get a little moisture.
Also, that's right. It's kind of like how like my dad counts his dollar bills, you know, just like a lick and you know what I mean? Just getting that moist. But the Dr. Tongues on your actual tongue.
And guys, it's a different spelling. It's T-U-N-G is doctor.
Yes. Yeah. But one day I was tonguing it and I said, well, no, I was trying to get casual. I was in the bathroom, I was tonguing it, and I said, well, what if I put this on my tongue? I mean, I don't see why this technology wouldn't work on the bacteria on my tongue. So I licked my thumb and I brushed my tongue. The next morning, I woke up with almost zero morning breath. I'm just saying.
Wow.
So we have on this show done a lot. We've covered a lot on oral care. Mm-hmm. We've also, big umbrella topic here, is our underwear love language.
So from tip to tail, that's add to cart's promise to you.
From tit to tail, from tongue to bung. Oh my God.
Okay, that is because you've been spending too much time with me, and I will own that. And I know that's why. That's why. And I'm a little disturbed, but I'm also like really proud.
Oh my God, cool. I learned from the best. You know what I mean? I like to take master classes.
Look, you're an award-winning journalist.
Thank you.
Okay?
I don't know.
Don't mess around.
One single award for my journalism.
Well, we won a Webby.
Oh, is this journalism?
From tongue to bung.
From tongue to bung.
Do you think did everybody leave?
Do you think Apple can take away their spotlight? Will we be in the dark next week?
Yes. Yes, Apple.
Hopefully they haven't got this far.
We'll be back in just a few.
Wait, I have to pee.
Please stick around, you guys.
They're going to take our spotlight away if you don't. And I have to pee. Back on track. Spotlight. We are big deals, okay? We have covered the mouth. And now we're going
south.
And okay, look, the depths to which we have dissected underwear on this show. And I would argue that this would be where I am the weirdest. Maybe this and another topic, but
Well, it's same region.
I had no idea that people were so different.
Right.
I thought we were variations of a flavor.
As did I. But our what I thought was like the main flavor is very different from what you thought was the main flavor.
Yes. My main flavor is an add to cart. I buy these in bulk. I buy 2 different types of underwear. Number 1, the Amazon cotton bike shorts. And number 2, the high-waisted cotton underwear full brief. These are my 2 underwear love languages. I sometimes wear them together. And also...
Why?
And also, this is swimwear.
Time out. Okay, the one she was speaking of first, let me say the whole title.
Go ahead.
These are women's anti-chafing
Yes.
cotton
Yes.
underwear boy shorts.
Yes.
Long leg boy shorts.
That's right.
In a 3-pack.
Yes. $21.99. 95% combed cotton. Yes.
Now,
Nothing but the best for my lady bits.
what is the occasion when you combine forces to this full coverage Voltron below?
Voltron.
To whom are you fighting?
Oh my God.
That you must double layer.
I'm so hot. I'm sweating. Oh my God. My bra. I got so much sweat in my bra. The Voltron combo comes out on many different occasions. Let me just give you one. Your Menzies. Rior. We're so getting the spotlight taken away. We're going to be the first podcast on their spotlight list where Apple's like, we changed our minds.
All this planning, and they were like, you know
what?
on second thought.
Your Menzies. Menzies.
And then, lest we forget, and we don't want to walk away from the jewel that was bestowed upon us, is that SuChin, if you are a new listener, she does not own a bathing suit. So this full cycling gear outfit that she's describing also it's all terrain.
Let me tell you about a few things. 1, I have owned swimsuits in the past, okay? So I know of what I speak. One day, my kids were in the pool and they said, come in. And I was like, ugh, I'm going to go I got to get into a tight swimsuit on over this. And I said, why don't I just jump in the pool in what I have on underneath my shirt?
Yeah, I mean, stepdads have been doing it for years.
That's right. And you know what I discovered?
What?
It's more comfortable.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2, cotton can get wet and it dries. And you get out of the pool and guess what? It feels just like a swimsuit. You're still wet. It's not like a swimsuit is like wick away moisture and you're instantly dry. So you know what I said? I said swimwear is a scam. It's a scam. I look like I'm in a swimsuit.
Let me be the judge.
In 1845. but it, you know?
Look, and I've done away with thongs. I'm not interested in that floss. And I like a high-waisted, but a little cheeky. I like it full, but I like to show my little booty off. You got it, flaunt it for my husband. And during the pandemic, I was in a really weird place of purchasing matching underwear with Scott. I look back at it fondly, and that it was some type of grasping for something. Whimsy, grasping for...
Yeah, whimsy during a global pandemic.
Yes, what I thought maybe would help a little would be for us both to be wearing underwear that has the Wonder Woman logo or like happy cartoonish dim sum.
Yeah.
And it did for some time. But now I've moved on. I didn't think I would touch Skims, but a former guest, Abby Arad, said,
my goodness,
check out Skims. And I tried.
Abby Arad.
Fits everybody full brief. It does me good, guys. Does me good. I like the colors. Not expensive. Not bad.
And how high does the waistband go? Over the belly, under the belly button?
Well, there's different choices here.
Okay, got it.
So,
and then,
and
then covering all your cheeks, or there's a little wink on the side?
For me, I like a little wink. I like a little wink.
Got it.
But the one that I like, we're covering the belly. That's what I'm rocking. It's really nice on me.
That butt's not going to do it for me.
I know it's not, SuChin. I know that, but that's not for you.
No.
All right. We are going to talk about remove from cart. And when we say remove from cart, it's things you're done with. It's items maybe you considered, you did add to cart, and then you're like, nah, I don't need it. Let me remove from cart.
These are things, mainly, I would say it's been on our show, things, not necessarily products or items, but I really do believe just behaviors, ideas, or beliefs,
Yeah.
And I want to say that I want to remove from cart what I thought this show was going to be and what it is now turning into and constantly evolving. This is not a review show, right? Remove that from cart. This is not a testing product show. That's not what we do here.
Yeah, we're not Consumer Reports.
No. And I think I only bring this up because I've been perusing. I love to peruse often the comments and the reviews that people leave. And I love the complaints, and there are some complaints that this is not a show where they talk about actual practical things that one should buy as much.
I didn't know we had that feedback. Okay.
Yes. And I said, you know what, sir? I'm making wild assumptions here. Sir, you are right. There are many other podcasts that will do that for you. This is not it. What this podcast has ended up being about is a show about the things that have brought us joy, that have brought our guests joy, that have made our lives easier, and really kind of added to the personal growth in our lives.
To be fair, sir, making a wild assumption and a leap, that's a show I'm interested in doing. That's what's fun for me.
I did not know how deeply personal this show was going to get. And if you haven't heard our episode at the end of last year going into this year, we had a show where we were just talking about the things, that we want to hold on to for the new year and let go of. And that was really personal. And you shared everything from your baby journey to our experience with racial injustice. We've talked about adult Lego sets. I mean, we've run the gamut. It is such a reflection of who we truly are.
Yeah. What I am removing from cart is, I don't know, is the best way to put it is poise pad persecution. This year, because of this show, I learned, and I've grown to accept SuChin's poise pad lifestyle.
Wait, have you not poised it?
No, I have not poised it.
By the way, also no free poise pads, but go on.
You're right. We really need to talk to our Lemonada team. They got to make the poise pad push. the poise pad press.
So you're not curious about poising it?
No.
Have you? Okay, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Have you been in a situation since we started this podcast where you thought, you know what? If I had a poise right now, this would be very helpful.
No, but when I talk about growth is that when you first told this to me, your poise pad, and at first I thought it was psycho. It reminded me of that crazy astronaut lady who wore a bunch of adult diapers to go commit harm upon a rival. That's the reference I saw. But when you explained it to me, oh my goodness. And as the weeks and months, it started to make sense.
Yeah.
And then as you talked more and more, I kind of understand it when you're traveling, when you're at a plane, that feeling of like, I have to go pee, but I can't get up right now.
I was in a middle seat.
I was like,
you're
okay.
on an active runway. Mm-hmm.
So what I've come from thinking that this is the most insane thing I've ever heard to recognizing in myself that sometimes I sneeze and I pee a little, and sometimes it's not a little, and going, okay, I get it now. Is what I'm saying is I get it now. So I'm removing the cart like that. This is an insane idea.
Again, as I said, I've been perusing our reviews. This one came early, November 19th. And this is what this person wrote. So, I'm a retired law enforcement professional, okay? And I listened to episode number 1 while working a surveillance job where holding pee is key. And I have to say, I was sitting there just laughing and wondering if they make a poise pad for someone like me.
Poise pad, do you hear that?
Is all I'm saying. There's a law enforcement. Surveillance.
Do you hear that, Mr. and Mrs. Poise?
Validation is the sugar in my sugar boat, and I feel validated.
And I just want to back up a little bit so people understand that SuChin brought this up as if it was commonplace, as if everybody did it, and as if you didn't do it. Well, you're stupid.
Yeah, because I've been poisoned for years. I have been poisoned for years. I have been poisoned for so long that I am probably on the 2nd or 3rd generation of poise pads, meaning that technology has even changed. So that's how long I've been poising.
All right, we are ready to go. I'm so thrilled. This is going to be so fun. Wait. Before we start, I have to get a fresh piece of paper to take my notes.
I think we've started.
Oh, we already started?
I think we've started.
Shoot.
That's how we're starting.
Oh, okay.
Get out a fresh sheet of paper.
Everyone get a fresh sheet of paper out. The professor is here. She's back. Our boots on the ground. Tried and tested. Our white jacket, Dr. M.D. Majanda Delfino.
And this week, Dr. Majanda is here to tell us all about the items that keep things tight and keep things right. So tight and right is our theme today. Majanda, thank you so much for always just your service. You're so sacrificing and generous. We just value you so much, your opinion.
I can't tell you how much that means to me, and just to know that the hard work is paying off, not just in a vacuum over here.
No, you are a first responder.
Yes.
When it comes to beauty. Majanda, please tell us the ways that you are keeping it tight, and let's start. If we can, or would you like to intro like kind of how you got into this, how you came about this list? I mean, any motivations?
I mean, yes, I can tell you I came about this list just through desperation, Kulap. I mean, we are on just the path of decay. And boy, am I feeling it these days. That's sort of been my motivation. It's sort of not in my power. It came to me, you know?
She's just channeling it.
You're a mere vessel.
Exactly.
She's an empty vessel.
Who am I
that just
to not
channels
take the message? Exactly. Who am I not to serve?
She herself takes out a fresh sheet of paper when she's channeling.
100%. Close my eyes and just a scribble comes out, and then I, open my eyes and it says retinol, things like that. It's a gift.
The first item I really want to know about is subtle self-tanner, a.k.a., here's a tip, hide the decay.
Hide the decay. First of all, I need to preface this by saying that I am a Hispanic woman, and there's nothing more of a crown jewel than being pale, right? When you're Hispanic.
Can relate.
Very loaded. Yeah, very loaded and problematic. However, I do look a little weird with a tan. I'm going to be honest. It's not a good look for me. But these days, I'm starting to realize why so many people tan. It hides so much, guys.
Camouflage.
I mean,
Contouring.
What does a tan hide?
it just hides the dimpling, the creping.
It does?
It really
Yeah.
does.
I never even thought about that.
And I'm so heartbroken to say that because, one, I hate the feeling of the sun.
You're a goth chick through and through.
I am a Miami goth. You know what I mean?
You're a straight up Miami goth.
It feels like I'm burning. I am. And who has the time? The actual process, whatever. So, in my desperation to hide these things that are just popping up, I found this tanner. One, it doesn't smell like a bad car
Freshener.
freshener, thank you. It goes on in the shower. So you take a shower, and guys, I know you have extensive shower routines when, the time is allowed. I have a new step, just a new
An
little
additional step.
an additional, just slide it in there when you're feeling it.
This is the Saint Tropez gradual tan in shower tanning lotion. You go Golden Glow medium.
Yes, I go medium. I don't know why. I feel like going straight out of the gate with dark. Being a person that is not trained in
Yes.
applying self-tanner could be a real disaster.
Yeah, definitely.
You put this stuff on. This is what's fascinating about it. You shower. You get clean. You do your thing. You turn the shower off. You put this on in a circular motion. You wait 3 minutes at least. So feel free to leave the shower, walk around naked as I do, yell at your kids, the dog, whatever. Get back in, wash it off, and then just in a couple hours, suddenly this little glow starts to appear. Suddenly you don't see the wrinkles above your knee as much. Things like that. And then it's gradual. So if you do it every 3 days or whatever, it starts to build. It doesn't streak. And so it's just kind of like foolproof.
Wow.
I know.
And do you do it on the face as well?
I do it on the face because I like to take chances, guys. I don't know if you're supposed to, but I have. And it's great. And it's so sad because I do run into people when I've used it and they're like, you look just so healthy. And it when you realize that you're not walking around looking healthy otherwise.
Right.
That it's just a mask?
I mean, you look amazing right now. You do look glowy.
But underneath it, it's decay.
Underneath, there is pure decay. It is like a horror film.
It's death becomes her.
100%. By the way, that is the goal. That would be amazing.
Okay, that's right. Goal, hashtag goal.
the holy-
death
Goal.
becomes her.
Goal. 100%.
Holy grail.
Because your insides too are on the decline, Majanda suggests some poop pills.
Oh, yes.
By the way, Majandra, your hair pills, right? The supplements that you recommended the last time you were here, all the rage with our add to carters. Like, I feel like it's one of the most discussed and most praised things that you've brought to the table.
Well, I'm not going to come forward, guys, without something that isn't just scientific facts.
Tested.
If it can't give you kielbasa, then what am I doing here? By the way, everyone here around me, we fight for the nettle. It's sold out. Like, everyone gets mad. It's a feeding frenzy.
No, the one that you suggested was sold out for some time, and people had to go off. They had to go off brand. They had to choose their own adventure. They had to like do their best to find organic nettle.
Yeah, it's been happening to me, and I'm like, what have I done?
All the nettle farmers are like, what's happening with production, guys? I'm working a lot longer these days.
But these are also supplements. This is the intestinal movement formula, 50 vegan caps. This is pure formulas. You've suggested this brand before for melatonin.
Yes, I send you to that sort of store because they're kind of the umbrella. They have it all.
Okay.
But these poop pills, I mean, not trying to be funny. I hate scatological humor like the next guy, but this is no joke. I mean, when you get older, especially as we start to, really decline and perhaps get our appendix removed or have, a secret facelift, I don't know, some surgery where suddenly you come out of it and you can't poop. I had a hernia surgery. I had like 4 hernias, got them all operated on. Then you come out, you take these lovely pain pills, and then you can't poop.
Okay.
And then it really brought me into the world of learning of all these people without surgeries that cannot poop. That's just a normal way of life. I have a friend that admitted she poops once a week.
Oh no.
I know. And so that's where I heard the call. That's where I channeled and realized this is what the people need. We need a chill way to poop. You get something from Walgreens, whatever, it's a grab bag.
Chill.
It's a grab bag. It's either not chill,
yeah.
it's not enough, These are really something.
All right. Wow. Okay. So I want to share that I poop 2 to 3 times a day.
What?
I mean, that is the meaning of health right there, Kulap. That's what you're supposed to. Yes, you're supposed to poop after every meal, which is just a lot of time in the bathroom.
No.
SuChin, who would tell us this is our beloved Dr. DeMello. He'd tell you right now.
Wait, poop 3 times a day?
Ideally.
Yes,
I'm my mind.
By the way, I don't.
Wait, what did you say, Mahendra?
I said ideally.
Ideally,
I don't.
Wait,
I only
okay,
poop
hold
once
on.
a day.
I
thought I was
Poop talk makes me a little,
I know.
But I'm gonna get right into it. So, Kulap,
Yes.
without getting into
I
it,
will get into
when
it.
You're when you're
She's like,
when
"Let's
you're
discuss."
pooping, are the poops healthy? Like, is it because you've been eating ice cream for lunch and then you're
me
just
if I have diarrhea? No, these are well formed, and well placed in the bowl, sir.
Mahendra, how many times do you poop, Mahendra?
I poop once a day,
But then with these pills, do you take these pills every day?
So no, I don't take these pills at all because I've been blessed, with this GI system that may have to do with suffering through a lot of parasites as a child in Venezuela. But I do have that regularity to depend on. But going through the hernia surgery, for instance, that was like a wake-up call. And then I started to kind of, sneak out a little bit and talk about my woes. I mean, guys, there was a time where I thought I was going to die, trying to poop.
Mahendra,
And yeah.
Mahendra, I want you to know that our beloved producer Claire Jones has shared that she is a once-a-weeker.
Claire,
Oh my
see?
Claire.
This is the thing, guys. Once you discuss it,
That's so stressful.
you learn. People are suffering. You need to get the poop out.
Yeah.
I
But
would
do you-
die. Tell me,
But
CJ.
if you're pooping once a day, oh, Claire, she's suffering. Okay,
I'm
add to
telling
cart
you.
immediately, Claire.
That's the
We need to
thing.
get you to poop. But what I'm asking is, if one poops once a day, should we be taking these to encourage more poops? And when you take these, I know I'm circling back here again. I am a little afraid of diarrhea. I have to say,
Nobody
I have
wants
a thing.
it. Yeah, nobody wants it.
It freaks me out. I can vomit till the day. I love a vomit. I love a good,
What a
good
treat.
cathartic.
I didn't know we were going to get that share.
That's a perfect segue into my vomit pills. No, I will say, SuChin, I will say I don't aspire to poop more than once a day, only because I feel like I'm fine. It's never been an issue. And who has the time? You know?
Yeah.
Kulap is used to it. I don't know what I would do if I had to add that to, all the other
I mean, you guys have kids. I have time to shit. You know what I mean?
That's self-care. I don't self-care to that level. Once a day, I'm fine.
I was just sitting here as I'm getting over everything. My dad, poor dad, he really suffers from this.
I know.
And
not about your dad, but
yeah, but he really, and it does affect, it's a real source of anxiety, and it's a source of anxiety in their marriage because my mother has taken it on as her own personal mission to regulate my father's bowel movements. And then when we sit down and eat, it's all centered around whether my dad will have a movement. And I'm like, guys,
it's huge though. It's so funny.
I'm just trying to have some noodles. Like, can we just chill on the bowel movement talk? But it's you're eating too many spicy things. Don't eat that pepper.
But it really does point to the importance. I mean, you guys, and I don't want to sound, this is not a pun intended, but it's like you need to get rid of this like toxic dump, like toxic waste in your body. If I don't poop for one day, I am a complete asshole. I mean, I am in the worst mood. You know what I mean? Like that is so huge for me to take a poop. And I did have a father like that who was always like, you'd call, I'm not feeling well. He's like, did you poop? And I'd be like, yes, no, I did poop. He's like, that's all you need. It's like, that's it. If you're pooping every day, man, like you're fine. And so it is really a thing. But of course, it makes everyone uncomfortable. And that's how we end up not knowing that our best friend only poops once a week.
Yeah. So add to cart, normalizing bowel movement talk.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think that was the add to cart. I think
we're adding
nice
another
try.
little...
I think the add to cart was a little different
It's
than
the
that.
add-on. Like when you buy something technological and you can get the 5-year protection plan. That's the add-on to the poop pills. Is the normalization.
Yeah, guys, on add to cart in your stories, tag us when you tell us how many times you poop during the day.
How many days are you pooping? What's it like? Are you afraid of diarrhea too?
At add to cart pod, at Majanda Drama. At SuChin Pak, at I am Kulap.
No, not at SuChin Pak. Okay. That's a lot of handles.
Just send the pictures to SuChin.
For SuChin's benefit, we are going to move on.
Yes, let's move on.
Majandra, you call our gums, the shot collar of your predestined death.
Yes, this is something I have learned recently, and whoo, the regrets. Whenever I go to the dentist for teeth cleaning and they're like, do you floss every day? I'm always like, absolutely not. Like, this is such a scam. What a lie if anybody says that and you believe them. And then I found out that gum health is linked to all these things. As we know, cardiovascular issues, all these things. It is the window into the soul of how long am I going to live? Essentially, this is what I'm learning.
Yes, I've heard this, yeah.
Took me 40 years, but here I am. And this stuff, it's almost like an oil pulling type of thing, but it's got a bunch of other things mixed into it.
So this is Living Libations Happy Gum Drops
Yes.
Oil Swishing Serum.
Living Libations Happy Gum Drops Oil Swishing Serum. Quite a name.
What
really
does
long.
it taste like?
It tastes minty and very sort of like herbally. Doesn't taste bad at all. It actually tastes kind of nice. And, you're going to want to maybe put a little more in there than you need to because it is such a pleasant experience. But you do want to sort of do it sparingly, save the dollars. You know what I mean? But once a day, I swish with this stuff, and then I say a little prayer because I'm really coming into this late in the game. But it really has helped as far as when I go in for teeth cleanings, they're like, oh, your gums, they're so much better.
Wow. Okay.
Are you swishing or actually pulling?
Pulling teeth, SuChin?
No, but you guys know
you
about
mean like as far as the action? I just do like, to keep it in there. You know, you're supposed to keep that coconut oil in like 20 minutes.
I know. That's why, first of all, pulling is like an ancient Ayurvedic way to keep your body and your gums really clean and your teeth really clean.
What is it?
So you can take sesame oil or coconut oil. And then what you do is you put it in your mouth, like for an ungodly amount of time, and you swish it. And the reason why they say pulling, it's almost like you're swishing it, like you're pulling the liquid in between all your teeth. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's a real kind of active motion. It's not just like a mouth swish.
Okay.
But the taste is so disgusting. You have to keep it for so long. Like I did it probably for a week, and I was like, there's just no way.
This isn't work.
I can't.
Yeah,
this
for my
isn't work
lifestyle.
for me.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in this because, I mean, not to brag and not to shame. That's not what we do here. Sometimes we do.
You're flossing every day. I know what you're going to say.
I mean, at a minimum.
She's flossing every day. By the way, now I am too.
I'm not really flossing every day, and I know I should.
I couldn't do that. I don't, you know what? I will skip a brush before I skip a floss.
Interesting. That's
Very
so, yeah, that's
interesting.
smart because you're cutting to the chase.
So in the morning, for example, sometimes I'll just floss and then do a swish with my, with whatever mouthwash I have.
Right.
Okay.
Because it's kind of what it's all about. I mean, you're actually probably doing the right thing.
Okay. I'm hearing this. I'm listening.
This is the thing. I live with a obsessive flosser.
He's got a great set of chops.
He's got a great looking set of chops, but he has just generations of tooth decay where I had never heard of such a thing. And the teeth fears that I have now adopted, as sort of a surrogate to his, and these oil swishing drops are for like the lazy person like me who's not going to do the pulling. Mm-hmm. No way.
You don't have time to poop a second time.
I can't even poop 2 times.
I want to echo what Dr. MD is saying. When I went in to the cardiologist, we were worried about my heart. One of the battery of tests she did was a gum and mouth bacteria test. That was part of it. And I have one of the cleanest mouths. For as foul as I speak, you'd be surprised how clean my mouth is.
What a balance. What a balance. I like that.
What a strange brag. Majanda, thank you so much for coming back. I know we already have you scheduled to return.
And by the way, I mean, not to create panic in the streets, but a few of these things sometimes sell out. I'm not saying it's us, but I'm not saying it's not Majanda. So
we don't know.
If you're interested, i.e. I've got the poop pills on the way and the self-tanner, even though I've never even considered that as a possibility.
I know.
To hide the decay. Seems easy enough, right?
Majanda, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Mahandrama, and that's it.
Well, again, just helpful tips. Keeping it tight, keeping it right. Majanda, once again, thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies.
That is it for this show. Really fast, as an update to last week, I have an answer from my nephew Kai about his YMP, his young male perm. He was a influencer, a perm of over a year. It's on our Apple Premium, which is an awesome way to support the show. Go to apple.co/lemonada to listen to the full interview with Kai. Subscribing to Lemonada Premium is only $4.99 a month, and you get access to all kinds of awesome bonus interviews, behind-the-scenes stuff, and extended cuts. We'll have plenty of that coming out this month.
And to all our new listeners, if you like this show, share it with a friend, tag the gal or the guy in our comments.
Yes, please.
Make sure you also subscribe.
Everything that we talk about each episode will be on Add to Cart Pod. Follow us there for pictures of everything, stories on those items in the wild, and our favorite listener reviews. Also, please leave a review so you can be on our Instagram.
All right, you can also leave us a voicemail at 833-453-6662. And I would love it if you guys could tell us your best summer add to cart so far, because we're going to be doing an episode around summer add to carts this month.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye! Add to Cart is a production of Lemonada Media. Our producer is Claire Jones, and our editor is Ivan Kurev. Theme music is by Wasabi and produced by LA Made It, and Oh So Familiar with additional music by APM Music. Executive producers are Kulap Vlysak, Sujin Pak, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles Wax.
Be sure to check out all the items we mentioned today on our Instagram at Add to Cart Pod. Also, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to this show wherever you get your podcasts.